The Get Better podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of the participants. Please remember to gamble responsibly.
Welcome to Get Better Sports for July 20th. A long 8-week hiatus we had off. Hope everyone's enjoyed their summer holidays. We certainly have. Troy, how you doing, pal?
Summer holidays, man. It's hard to pod during the summer.
Yeah, it is. There's just too much to do.
There's so much to do. And, if it wasn't for just the countless emails on Facebook and on Instagram and on our TikTok that were saying, when are you guys coming back? And we're back for the people, for the listeners. And we have some huge news. We have some massive news. Guess which podcast brand just hit 1,000 downloads.
1,000 downloads. It only took us. What was it? How many years have we been doing this?
It took a while. Hey, it's not about. It's that we got there. We accomplished the goal.
That's right. It's the milestone.
Yeah, 10,000 just around the corner.
We didn't even know. We took a full break, just pause. I didn't even really bet that much in the last little while. It took a little bit of a hiatus. And it was kind of nice, refreshing, just to kind of reset and not place a ton of wagers. I did bet on some things. Like I bet on a lot of the golf, the majors. Yeah. I went on a bit of a string there where I was betting MLB for a while, but I did for the most part take a little bit of a breather. And so we didn't even check until today. We're like, we're gonna pod. We're gonna talk about a couple things today. And I thought, I wonder where our downloads are at now. So jumped in there, checked it out.
So good.
Tipped 1,000.
Let's go.
It's pretty good. Yeah, man. All right. It's super exciting. I'm excited to see that number. And as you said, the demand was real.
The demand was real. Enough people told us like, back. Where you been? I'm starting to go back to work now. I need something to listen to on the ride.
Yeah.
And if you guys are gonna continue to be one of my favorite podcasts in Ontario, like let's get some more out there. So we're back. Let's do this.
Yeah, more content coming. We're gonna try to be more consistent with it. We are in the midst of the summer. There's still a lot of golf to be played.
For sure.
How is the golf game, by the way?
Golf game is unreal. The best story was I'm at Cherry Downs and I'm sitting there talking with a big fan of the show, Craig Scott. And I'm like, how do you hit a draw? Like, I just need to know how to hit a draw. And this old man walks over and he looks at me and I could tell right away, he's like, he's got something to share. You can just see the glimmer in his eye. He's been waiting all day, maybe all his life, to tell somebody about what to do and how to hit a draw. So he comes over and he grabs me and he starts moving me. He's like, everything's wrong with the way you're standing. He's aggressive. Not like my coach last year that was probably a little too friendly. I need that hard coaching. He's pulling me in like this. He's lining me up. He's lining me. He's like, your grip, everything. And he lines me up and he's moved me into this odd spot. And he goes, now hit it as hard as you can. Wouldn't you know it's true? And I'm sitting there like this. Oh my God, this is great. So I'm just lining ball up after ball. The guys are ready to go. I'm like, I'm hitting this. I'm so happy right now. And then another guy walks by, Luke, and he goes, hey, you're only supposed to be using your irons here. You're putting them all into the forest. No one's ever going to get those back. I didn't realize you were supposed to use your driver on this tee. And I'm just sitting here happy as a pig in crap. Just,
oh my God.
Look at it go. Yeah, so I followed it up with a terrible round that day. But the following day I was back out practicing everything the old man told me. And I got 87. And from a guy that couldn't break 100 last year to now do that, I was very, very happy.
So did you get this old timer's name? Like, do you know who he was? Like, he was just a magical man walking down the range and gave you that one little tip.
Yeah. It's like, the old man at the sea. He's the old man at the tee. The old man at the tee. Whoever it was saw me and fixed something. And, maybe he found something special. Maybe he tapped me on the shoulder for something special here. So let's
who knows?
Let's see.
Who knows? Can go really well.
How are you doing? How's the game going, man?
It's okay. It's all right. There's still some work to be done. I played a little bit, played a bunch as of late. But yeah, still some things to work on. We got to get out again though.
Oh, we're due.
We are due to get out. We are due to get out. I think we should probably line that up and make it happen again.
I can't wait.
And given where your game is at right now, you're drawing the ball and everything.
Yeah, to be able to, like, if I could say I could beat you heads up one game, like
I was gonna say, when you're in the 80s, maybe that's where we go heads up. Just
I'm not ready yet.
Nice
I'm still begging for 10 to 15 strokes until we got to master this. I mean, you were away for 4 days in the Bahamas, was it?
Bermuda. Yeah, golfing in Bermuda. It was unbelievable. Yeah, great place to go. Played some unbelievable golf courses there. Fortunate enough to have a buddy who lives on the island, and was able to hook it up. So great golf, and did it relatively cheap, man. Yeah, we had some buddies out there on the island that got us some comp rounds, and so I'm not going to complain about that. We might try to make that an annual one. And see if we can't grow the list of boys. So keep working on that game.
Hey man, I'm always looking for go away golf trips. That's my new thing. I'm doing Cabot next year, so
I know
that's going to be fun. I'm a year out. It'll be a year yesterday that I will be returning from this glorious trip. So can't wait to do it. It'll be my first real golf trip too. I need to get a golf bag.
That's like a good one.
A carry-on bag. Like, do you have a hard case?
Like a travel bag.
Do you use a hard case or something? What do you use?
I don't have like the hard case, but I got like a padded travel bag.
Okay.
Yeah. A hard case is probably the better way to go.
Yeah.
You never know how they toss those bags around.
Yeah.
They're just
for a guy that barely puts his club heads like back onto his clubs like until the end of the round. Like the covers, whatever they're called. Yeah.
You're not worried about them smacking around in the back.
No. Yeah. Like my putter, I lost my thing on the putter years ago. Like I don't even know where that is. Some lucky fans. Cover? Yeah, the Scotty.
The Scotty.
Yeah. It's just somebody found that cover and is probably using it one day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So speaking of golf, there's a lot going on.
Let's start there.
World. Yeah, let's start there.
Yeah, there is quite a bit going on in the world of golf.
Yeah.
Outside of the fact that the majors are all finished now, and the last podcast we did, I think we covered the PGA Championship. We didn't even do a podcast on the Open. 150th at St. Andrews. We missed.
We decided not to cover it.
Summer vacation was more important than the 150th Open at St. Andrews, which was a good one. Truthfully, I didn't get to catch a lot of it. I was in Bermuda, but an unbelievable back nine by Cam Smith. I was rooting for Rory. I wanted to see.
I really wanted him to get one too, but maybe he didn't play it aggressively enough. Like
no. And I did place a few wagers on the Open there, and it didn't really pan out all that well for me. I had a couple names in there that I was looking at. I really thought Louis was going to play well again. Louis Oost, coming off some of and we're going to talk about the Live Golf Tour in a minute here, but coming off some solid play at Live, the experience he's had at St. Andrews, the win. I thought, man, he could be right there in the mix, and just didn't happen. And truthfully, I think anybody that bet on Cam Smith, probably did okay. They made out fairly well. Yeah. He would have been, he's one that I think quite a few people were targeting for this.
It was my last kind of bets. Emptied out the account on the Open. I went a little wild with the each way bets. Just trying to grab a couple of nice ones. And the only one I got Rory in the top 5. So that hit for the top 5, but it was not enough to cover the amount I put out there for.
It would have been nice to. Yeah, it would have been nice to see Rory. I saw some crazy stat about Rory that in the 4 majors this year, he beat something like 97.3% of the field and didn't win a single major. Like, is that not crazy? Tough go.
Tough out there.
Trending in the right direction. And I don't know. He had a tough time getting it done. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, outside of that, I commented on it a little bit there. Live Golf, and a lot of obviously controversy. Interesting to sort of watch this narrative play out across social media in a number of different capacities, whether that's you've got people in the media like Brandel Chambly and those guys who are commenting on their thoughts around it. You've got people in the media that are leaving and moving over there, and guys like Faraday. leaving NBC now to go and be part of the media crew for Live Golf. You've got fans debating, you've got players debating, you've got, executives from the tours all sort of having conversations about this. And it's a weird time for golf and a weird time for golf fans. And I feel like there's this real interesting divide. But what's your take on the Live Tour?
Take is
good or bad? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Where are you at?
I'm again, so this kind of tour plays into a lot of like the type of person I am, and a little bit of a disruptor. I like to think like a little against the grain, try new things. And you think of every other league has, kind of had to deal with something like this. Let it be the WHL in hockey, the AFL in the NFL. Like what was the ABA before the NBA kind of merged and stuff like this. So they had to go through this, and it was for the betterment of the league and the players. So I think it's bringing a lot of things to light in terms of what the players are getting in that, but it's also bringing a ton of media attention, and I think that's always good. And I think there's something to the team aspect of golf. Right. And it's probably something that you probably only see in the Ryder Cup
presidency.
But you see the success of, Premier League and F1, these leagues where, you kind of have to move into a certain area to qualify for it, or you buy a franchise and that's that marquee franchise. Like, it really goes for any sport, really. I'd like that franchise model. And it would be, I hate the team names of them. I think they're a little hokey right now, the way they're set up with, this person's on this team, and then I guess they can be on another team another week.
Next week they're not.
I think you want to back a team. So like, imagine if Ferrari came in and they could buy a franchise, and then they could pick their 6 athletes that represent their franchise. And that becomes the move. They could trade players to different teams. So I think that would be a cool model if you could ever get to that. That would be the fun part. So I do like where they're going. It's just at that hokey stage right now. But I think at the end of like years from now, 20 years from now, you'll look back and go, that was a good thing for golf.
Interesting. Yeah. I think, so if we're talking about this outside of obviously, where the dollars are coming from, and the moral consequences of making those decisions that I think is impacting a lot of the players and how fans are viewing this. And that's where you're seeing this big divide right now, and understanding sort of where the money is coming from. Speaking outside of that, I hear what you're saying on the team model. I do kind of like that. And I think it's something the PGA Tour could do, right? It'd be interesting to see if you could build, like, you take an F1 model where you have teams, but the members of that team compete against each other individually. And there's a team championship at the end, and there's an individual championship at the end. And I think there's something intriguing about that in terms of this sort of idea of the team. And if that meant, the PGA Tour was to, inject additional sponsorship for teams to build franchises like that, and that's another way to fund and guarantee, and hey, we're going to buy this player to play on this franchise, and that supports in some of the narrative around, being paid and what the players are looking at, and in some cases saying, well, the PGA Tour has had it great for so long, they've built success and off the back of the players and whatnot, and that's some of the narrative we're seeing, and it's been a bit of a monopoly and yada yada yada. I'd be all for that. The challenge I have, and again, this is speaking beyond the reality of where the dollars are coming from the Live Tour. The challenge that I have with the Live Tour right now is, what are these guys playing for? Sure. What are they really playing for? You're paid up front. You win a tournament, you're not getting that money. It's just being pulled from your funds, as I understand it. And there's not a lot of notoriety, at least at this point, in the tournaments that you're winning. They're 54-hole tournaments as well. So when you think about the history of the sport and the game and golf and what it means and the accolades that you get for winning all these tournaments. You go back to Sam Snead and the number, how many tournaments he won. Tiger I believe he broke that record now. Jack's, major wins. And I know majors is a separate conversation and story, although there's some thoughts around what the long-term impact could be on the majors here for those guys that have gone over to live. That's my struggle, is I don't know what they're paying for. And so this is where I get a little bit torn, because me as a true golf fan, and I love the history behind the game, and I love, what comes with winning a PGA Tour event. And there's a lot of, obviously, as we talked about, notoriety and history that comes with that. And that's what they're playing for. And these guys are going out and grinding week in and week out. And it's kind of, I really, really liked what Tiger said and the comments that he made, where he mentioned, it's exactly what I said. What are these guys playing for, right? If you're paid up front and you're not going out there and grinding week in and week out, and what are you out there paying for? Like, what are you putting in all the work for? So it's an interesting to think about. On the flip side of that, you think about these players and some of the comments where they've made about, they'd like to be able to have a more shortened, condensed schedule. Maybe not have to be on the road as much. Maybe be at home more, be with the family, and still get paid. Those are things that these guys are looking at and saying, this is the benefit of me playing on the Live Tour. This is the benefit of me getting paid up front. I don't have to travel as much, and I can spend more time at home. And let's be honest, the money that they are making up front here is a significant amount of money that's probably impacting their lives. Now, again, did DJ need any more money? Is he doing well on the tour where he is? Sure, but you get a taste of money, and you obviously want a little.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
But it's a weird situation and
very odd
for golf right now, and I worry a little bit about what the PGA is going to do. It's going to be tough to compete against that kind of money. Obviously, the series that they're building around the fall is designed to sort of help and give opportunity for the top players on the tour to make some extra money and increase purses and things like that. Does this grow the game of golf? I don't know. I think it's still too early to tell. I think it's,
I don't know. I can't book a tee time. I can't book a tee time unless I'm 2 weeks
and
out,
I think
I'm not worried about the growth of golf right now.
No, I think it's in a good spot.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And I think we have the pandemic to thank more than anything, because people were at home and had nothing to do. And golf at one point in time was the only thing you could do in the summer because you get outside. Yeah. So people quickly adopted and gravitated back to the sport, which is fantastic. Yeah. And I think the fact that it's hard to book a tee time and golf participation is at, what is realistically probably an all-time high here in this country, in Canada, is fantastic. I love that for the game of golf. And I hope more people pick it up and adopt it, but it is a weird time.
It is
for
well, it goes to something too, is we're again, people don't like change, right? And somehow we decided along the way that the PGA, that's the number one place, right? Why is that? We decided that the NHL is the number one place for hockey.
Yeah.
Right? And we only have 30 teams, and those 30 teams that are in North America only, that's what we've determined as the best place for hockey.
Yeah.
For Premier League's the best place, or now, but they have rival things. Like, what is the best soccer league? Soccer's been around forever. That's arguable, right? You could say, is it Bundesliga? Is it the Premier League? There's a lot of different elements to soccer that challenge for that top place.
For sure.
So
for sure.
I think this is kind of the growth of the sports and stuff like that. Like, I think this is just natural that somebody said, I want to have the top thing. I want to go for it.
Yeah. I think that the biggest challenge we see right now is there are some big names that are moving over there. And that is kind of the piece that worries me a little bit, is because you're getting that divide in talent, right? Like, you could probably still sit here and say, like, obviously with the NHL and you got the KHL, like, you still get the top talent in the NHL. You know where they are, right? And there's not much question in that. Right now, we're getting to a point where we've got to divide. There's some significant talent that have left and gone over to Live Tour. And now, so from a fan perspective, when you're watching, a PGA Tour event, are you seeing the best of the best? We're missing a few guys here who typically would be competing week in and week out. And so
as a Canadian, look how many of the top guys skip my Canadian tour. That happens a lot. So, where is best and best for the majors?
Skip the Canadian Open.
Augusta. Why? Augusta's got to be the place.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a funny time, but I think the real question for the listeners is, and I'll throw this out there. Let's throw it as a poll: is would you go? Would you go? I just want to know: would you go, Luke? Would you go? Yeah. Would you go? Could you be bought? You're a professional player on the PGA Tour. You get to play your majors. Would you go?
I think it depends on everybody's situation, to be honest with you. I don't know that I would. I still go back to, what are you playing for? Right. I go back to that idea of going out and grinding week in and week out, having something to play for. You're paid up front. Now you're just like going and golfing at the end of the day. And then there's not a lot to compete for there. Don't get me wrong. That's a boatload of money.
Yeah.
And now, that's not to say like guys on the PGA Tour are making no money. Their endorsements are big, significant, right? Like huge. When you think about Tiger's made all his money through.
Oh my gosh, Tiger can't be the judge of this one. Unfortunately, Tiger doesn't get to say on this one. Love Tiger.
No, he can't talk on this one. But there's a ton of guys that grind it out, week in and week out, and truthfully, don't make a cut. And now they're like, okay, well, I made no money. I had to pay for the hotel, I'd pay for my caddy to come here. Now I got to pay for the flight to the next one to see if we can do it and make some cash again. That's where it gets tough. You're sitting in that situation, and they're going to throw some money at you and say, "Hey, do you want to come over here?" And some guaranteed money. Now they're going to throw the same amount they're giving to someone like a DJ or Bryson. No, but are they going to guarantee you some money? That becomes challenging when you think about your family, you think about the things that you got. It's tough.
It's tough.
There is a moral decision. I think if
you're not the top person, like if you're not a person that thinks that they're always going to be challenging week in and week out, a young and up and comer, I think that move doesn't happen till a later in life move where you realize who you are as a golfer. You're out there for the check now. If you can win, it's great. Compete in the majors, I'll give you everything I got, but you're really doing it for the check. You go take the money. No question.
Yeah.
Me, myself, with my 87. Let's go. Pay the man. Pay me. I'm ready. Man. I'll show up. I'll make good comedy for you. I'll make you laugh.
Interesting. We need to hear from the listeners as to what they do. I'd be interested.
Would you go? Would you go? Would you go? Okay. Well, switching gears here. Let's switch over to our beloved Blue Jays, right? It's the perfect time, all-star break. Blue Jays where are they sitting right now?
Mid-season
50 and 43, 7 games over 500. Sitting in the 6th wild card spot. We've I think the big one for the listeners is Jays, I think we were like 1 or 2 favorites to win the World Series. Jays are currently now, basically 12-1 to win the World Series. Would you bet it?
Yeah, that's the question.
Would you bet it? Are they going to win the World Series, Luke?
This year, no. They're not going to win the World Series this year. I just don't see it happening right now. Like when you think about it's, and there's a couple things that we have to look at here. The division is completely unfair. Like enough with this.
We're such complainers. I love it.
I know we're complaining about this. Like, could we be any more homers here in terms of Blue Jays fans? But theoretically, look at this. It's the only division in baseball where every single team is 500. Baltimore. Yeah. How is Baltimore?
They're back, baby.
500 baseball.
How does Tampa stick around with that damn no fans? Know. Like it's ridiculous.
I don't know. Every single team in the division is basically 500 and up. And so that's the frustrating part for me. They're an incredibly tough division, but the baseball team hasn't performed. And there's been some key elements to this baseball team that have struggled, right? Like we know the pitching issues. The pitching issues have kind of been there from day one, really. the thing that kills me is, and let me circle back on the thing that kills me first. But so there's that. Bichette, the bat, I don't know what's gone on with his offense from where he was before to where he is now. It's as flat as it can be. Chapman at third base is not the same defensive player that we've seen in the past. I talked about the pitching with Barrios. Gausman has basically probably been the best pitcher for us. Yeah, and even still, he's hitting way too much into contact. He's pitching way too much into contact right now. And so they just have a lot of problems. And they are a few injuries away from just completely collapsing. So there's going to be moves that are coming. But this is the piece that kills me.
So are you a little disappointed, it sounds like, Luke?
I am disappointed. Okay. And I'd like to know any Jays fan that is sitting there saying they're happy with where this baseball team is based on the expectation where they were. I know you. Okay, get it. Well, I'm going to give you your minute. I'm going to give you.
Finish your thought. Finish your thought here.
This is the piece that kills me on this is the front half of this schedule was the toughest part of their schedule. Thank God they're heading into a much easier schedule. There aren't many baseball teams that are going to have the schedule that the Jays have. And theoretically, this is the opportunity. They've got to turn around. They've got to find the bats. They can't get injured. And they've got to make some moves at the deadline to short up if they're going to have a chance to get there in the end and win the World Series. And I hope I'm totally wrong, but I still think they're probably a couple pieces and a season or two away from a World Series, to be honest with you. But it kills me that they battled hard through that front half for a little bit, as much as they possibly could. They got through a really tough part of the schedule and didn't allow it to get away from them. And then leading into the All-Star break, like Oakland, like what are you doing? Tough like you can't give up games like that stuff, right? That shouldn't happen. That should
Western
never
road
happen.
Trip, man. Good vacation, right? Get out there, All-Star break around the corner.
And the games that they are winning, it's not as if they're blowing them out like they should be. They're winning by one, winning by a couple, like, or going into extras. I'm like, what is going on here? So my midseason report card for the Jays, like a C at best right now. Like they're not, it's not great. I'm not thrilled just yet as a Jays fan, but I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to think they can turn this around. You, on the other hand, believe they're right where you think they should be.
The funny part, Mark, cue the Dennis Green clip.
The Bears are who we thought they were, but they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
That's who they are. They're exactly who I said they would be. The last place wildcard team. And the only reason we're in that spot is because they created one extra position for the wildcard this year. Last year, we missed it by one. This year, that spot is ours. I'm fully confident we're going to end up in one of those 3 wildcard spots. I actually don't mind the last wildcard spot based on how the setup is. I hate that we'd have to play on the road. But it's looking like maybe Minnesota, who we technically have a better record than if they win the division. Like that's a little bit of a great crossover. Saying that, I'd prefer, we're not catching the Yankees, so it would be cool to get that 4th wild card and play the 5th seed. But then you're looking at like a Tampa, Seattle, and I'd rather play Minnesota than those 2 teams. So first of all, I said the team would not be as good as they were the year before because yes, some guys had to get better and they're not playing at that level. And the people that we lost, even though those people we lost might not be doing the best, we lost them in our lineup. And I think Gausman is the lone biggest surprise that I was super excited about. Manoah to me is our ace still. I think we got 3 pitchers. That's the one part. I don't even know what we're going to do with 4th and 5th pitchers right now. I still have some wild card faith. Back half, Nate Pearson comes out of nowhere, and that's my prediction for if we get a 4-game series in a playoff, that it goes Manoah, Gausman, Barrios, Pearson. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. I think he's got to come back. The guy's got to be the most injury prone guy ever, but that's enough.
Yeah.
He's got to get a shot.
Okay. So
happy.
So do you bet the 12-1?
Yeah, I'll ride that 12-1. That's great odds still.
You think they can win the World Series?
I think that we have a shot. I think we have I want to say a pitcher's chance, but no, we don't have a pitcher's chance.
We don't have a pitcher's chance. That's a damn shame.
We're going to make a move. We're going to add to this lineup.
Yeah.
Chapman is, as soon as everybody's so hyped on this guy, I'm like, okay. Nothing special. Nothing special to me.
Nothing special.
Nothing special.
Okay.
Espinal has been a surprise, filling in there, but yeah, I think it's an okay lineup. Like I feel like we score a lot of runs. We got to be one of the top scoring teams in the league still.
Yeah, and look how many guys went to the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
It's great. It's great.
A good sign.
So yeah, I mean, do I think
positive? But we're a wild card team, man.
Sure. So back to the betting in terms of betting this. Do I think they can win the World Series? I'm not optimistic. I don't think that they're there yet. Yeah. But would I be willing to put a little bit of money on the 12-1 right now before the deadline in the hopes that they make a big move at the deadline and put themselves in a better spot? And that odd is going to change if they do. Yeah, you might sprinkle a little bit there right now. I might be enticed to do that just to make the second half a little interesting as well. So
we're in the dog days December too, man. Like this team ramped up at the end of last year too. So like it's gonna get better.
Such a long season too. So long. You'd think they could create live baseball and then have to only do it a few times a week. Pay the guys. I'd watch that one too. Oh my god.
Okay, so what else do we got? What else is in the news, Lou?
The couple pieces,
couple hot takes on
Calgary. Do you want to talk quickly about what's going on in Calgary?
Or Calgary.
How good how is Calgary going to be, better or worse this year?
It's funny
than they were last year.
Hopefully, I mean, if they can get something for Chuck, that would be nice. Yeah. But they're in trouble. They're gonna be worse. But you'd hope with some of this money that they're saved, like that their guys are just leaving their team, they could use that for something. But I got a theory again. American players living and moving to Calgary. Don't get me wrong, Calgary, Alberta is like the number 2 province that I've been to outside of Ontario the most. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe it's time to get more than Banff in the Stampede. Sorry, Calgary. That's so bad for our Calgary listeners because I know you guys had so much more. It's such a terrible take, but hold on to players. Yeah. Hold on to players, man. Sorry your city doesn't have it.
It's a bad look for Calgary right now.
Totally. And it's coming from a place of arrogance right now for me as a Torontonian, thinking, oh yeah, well, they would never leave Toronto Maple Leafs like that, even though in every other single sport we're the ones holding on tight. Like we're holding on tight. Like, oh, who wants to play in Canada on the Raptors? Who wants to play for the Jays? Like those are usually the conversation. So it's nice to be able to pretend to be the other side for a second. Yeah. Sorry, Calgary. Sorry, Ottawa. Sorry, Winnipeg. Toronto's the best.
Tough look for the Flames right now.
Yeah, tough one.
Your
I love the Flames
star, arguably franchise player in Johnny Gaudreau takes a pay cut to go to Columbus.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. And then now you've got Matthew Tkachuk saying he wants out.
He's out.
And that'd be interesting to see where he lands. I heard rumblings that
he put a list together.
He wants to come play with Matthews. I just don't see how.
No chance.
How we make a move there.
I would love that to be true. We could use a guy like him. We need a tough guy.
100%.
We need a pasty guy like that. So bad. Our team needs that.
Yeah.
I'll trade Nylander and picks in a heartbeat. But
yeah.
It sounds
That's
like
true.
he wants to get to this other, like the everything's low, like the Sun Belt there. So Florida, trade me to Tampa, Florida. What else? Nashville, Dallas. Like, okay, just I get it. You don't like the winner. I get it. Okay? You want to play hockey, but you don't like the winner. Great, got it. But
fair enough.
We'll have to deal with this soon with Matthews. We'll have to deal with it. But I also think that sorry, Edmonton, you're next, buddy. McD's coming over to Toronto. So get ready for that one.
You think that's happening?
Yeah, I do.
Hot take. McDavid's coming to Toronto.
Like I will, honestly, this is one of my, I guarantee you he's not going to do what Gretzky didn't do. He's going to play in Toronto.
Wow.
Gretzky turned it down. He was right there. He could have done it. It didn't come through. Teachers union stopped that one, I believe. But McDavid's not going to make that mistake. You're going to see 97 in the blue and white. Put it down, chalk it up.
Huge hot take there. Wow. Okay. Interesting. 2 more things. Matt Murray.
Ooh, love the signing.
Of course you do.
Of course. I'm not paid. You know why? And I'll tell you this. I don't want to hear soup. Like, come on, man. Soup. Like, that's what we got to say every time.
Yeah, listen.
Gosh,
I wasn't sold on Campbell being the guy either necessarily.
Nothing special.
My fear with Matt Murray is, is this Dubas hiring another one of his buddies here to come and play with him?
Totally.
And when is the last time? And we know the answer. The last time that Matt Murray played in a full season without injury
for a good team
and demonstrated that. Of course, it was. We know what it was when they won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. 2 rings, buddy.
I know. He's got 2 rings. You know what? Bring that same kind of form to Toronto and you're good. Can he do it? And can he stay healthy? And can he handle the pressure of this market? I don't know. That's to be seen.
I think he's so jacked for it too. Dubas is putting himself on the line for sure. This is his final move. This is your all-in move. Like, this is what you want to. You want to have these moments in life.
Yeah.
What a moment for Matt Murray. What a moment. Because the fans will turn. Like, if we go to the gate 4-0, you're gonna hear fire Dubas like crazy. The fans will turn on Matt Murray. But I have a funny feeling this might just be what we needed. A guy that's won the cup before in the goaltending position to be able to yell at his guys, get in front of the pucks, get in front, lay it all in the line. He's seen it. He knows what it takes to win the Stanley Cup. He replaced one of the greatest goalies, in Fleury. So he's won. He's got the character there, and he's got the team in front of him. Yeah. So I think it's a good move. And thank God we don't have to say soup anymore.
We'll see.
We'll
see.
Come on.
We'll see. Do you think Edmonton?
Where did he
land? Did he land in Edmonton? He did, right?
Yeah, 5 for 5 years.
Yeah, that's right.
I wasn't ready to give him that term.
No, not 5 years. I don't think he gives him 5 years.
Sneaky move with the backup goalie too. I think that might be something.
It'd be interesting to see if the Edmonton fans adopt the soup chant.
Oh my gosh! Don't do it, Edmonton. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Just say Jack.
That'd be amazing if they did.
Jackie.
Just to do something a little different. Yeah. Okay, last one.
Yeah.
Raptors, Kevin Durant.
Ooh, Kevin Durant.
Scotty Barnes for Kevin.
No chance. Would you do it?
Never.
Fans out there?
Never.
Would you trade Scotty? No chance, I say. Would you though?
No, not a chance.
Not
a chance.
Yeah.
Too old.
Yeah.
I like our team. And I'd rather see our team. I'd rather see our team build and develop this young core for long-term success than make a move to try to win a championship. Because you make that move with Durant and his age, you got to win. You got to win now.
You got to win now.
Got to win now.
I do like the idea of him. You know what the thing that really pisses me off about the whole thing is that damn Rudy Gobert trade with all those picks that went back the other way. It just inflated the market to it reminded me of housing prices in Toronto during COVID. Like, come on, we're 5 picks. Like, that's the going right now. Come on.
Yeah.
No one's paying that. Masai's not doing that. But I would give up 3. I would give up a few for him. I don't want to give up OG. I love OG so much. He's my favorite Raptor, maybe of all time. And I don't want to lose him. I'll feel the same.
I think he should be part of that young core, right?
Yes, he is a part of that core. He's a core guy. Would you do the trade?
The OG Gary Trent.
Yeah, how about OG trade? Yeah. I know you won't do Scotty, but would you do OG Trent and 4 picks?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that I would even do that.
I know, it's so hard.
That's a tough one to make. I really
we got 4 years.
I really like Gary Trent too.
I know he's so good. I like him too.
He's a cool dude too. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. You
can wait a year on this one too. You know that, right? He's got 4 years on the deal. Irving leaves. Let's say he plays. I feel like this is the Nets. They're going to go for 1 year, go all in this year, and then sell the farm at the end of it. So Let's get him in. Let's get him midway through the season. If the season that's not too bad. Like we don't have to make that move right now.
Yeah. Today. And I think besides too much of a brilliant mind to get hosed on this one.
Love it. Like, poor Bobby Webster never gets the credit deserved, eh?
Like true. Sorry,
he's general manager. No one gives him the credit. The president. They give the president.
Sorry about that, Bobby. I'm sure you're involved in these conversations.
One day you'll run something.
You will get the notoriety you deserve. Anyways, well, that was fun.
Great to be back, man.
Summer break.
Yeah.
It's good to cover some sports. Yeah, like we said, we're going to try to keep content up if we can. It is summer. There is golf to be played, but we'll do the best we can. We're going to track these Blue Jays through the second half here.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed we get an exciting run down the finish here. See what happens. There's no way Baltimore can keep this up. Not that they're the real threat.
Fix the divisions.
Fix it.
2 divisions.
Anyways.
Let's go 2 divisions. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and see you again soon. Thanks for listening to Get Better Sports. If you like what you hear and you want to learn more, follow along, subscribe. Please share, like, comment, tell your friends, tell your family. It's a great podcast.